Hi, hello, and welcome to our channel Scratch Coding for Kids. This is Vida from Toronto. Today we are going to have a look on the how to develop the snake game. So this is my 14th tutorial, and we are going to develop the snake game, and we are going to check these in the agenda. So first of all, this is must to go through the first 13 tutorial, otherwise you don't understand this one because this is pretty advanced concepts. So please go through the 13 tutorials and then come to this one. So today we are going to check on what is this snake game, how to design that, then how to develop the code, and how to run it, and how to modify it. Okay, then you had to do the homework after I uh, go through with this development. You had to, at home, you had to develop by yourself a snake game. Maybe you can change some concepts, and you had to add two features to that. One is you had to add levels. So I did it only with one level, so you had to add another level 2 3 like that. And also I didn't add one feature, which is the when the snake touches its tail, the game has to stop. I didn't add this one add here, so you guys can add that one also. Okay, right, let's go to the scratch screen here. So first let's see how this game working. Okay, so I go to the full screen. So I set the initial length to 5 for the snake and the score is to 0. Now let's start. So when I press the arrow keys, down arrow, it goes down. When it comes to those chicken or the frog, it eat those things. It eats and it grows. See, the length is going up. It was starting 0.45 and now it came to 0.9. It's growing. When it eats the stuff, it's growing. And the score also going up. But it's very slow. When you go to the level 3, level 2 or something, okay, when it touches this edge, the game will stop. So this is pretty about this game. So there's a snake. It can move everywhere. So you can control the movement with the arrow keys, up, down, left, right. There will be some food given to the snake in the random positions. So it has to go and eat. Once it eats, your score will increase. Also, the length of the snake will increase. So snake is growing every time it eats something. But you can play for a while. But if the snake touches the edges, then the game will stop. So this is the game. Okay. Now let's see. I'll take a paint and I'll explain what are the things we have to do for this. What are things, how we are going to code it. Okay, so we have especially 3 sprites here. Okay, backdrop, we don't need to worry, only one backdrop, white color, we don't need to worry about that. So we have 3 sprites. So we will take about those 3 sprites. One is snake, second one is frog, third one is chicken. Okay, so we are going to write the coding for these 3 sprites. So first snake, when we come to the snake, first thing we have to move the snake. Somehow the snake has to move. So first condition we have to think about what coding we write. It has to move we have to move the snake. Second one, we have to control the movement with our keyboard. Example, right arrow, up arrow, down arrow with, with keyboard keys. But you can give any keys. It's not bind to one thing, okay? Movement with keyboard keys. Okay. So one thing snake has to move. Next thing, it has to uh, it has to be controlled by the user with different arrow keys or whatever keyboard keys. Other one, the snake has to grow. Every time snake eats something, when eats, it has to grow. Okay. So these are the 3. Then the last one, when it touches the edge, the game should end. Okay, so these are the four main things we have to code it for the snake. For the frog and chicken, so when we come to the frog and chicken, initially it shouldn't show. So we have to hide it first. When the game starts, it should be hidden. Both has to be hidden. So we have to hide. Then it has to show and goes to random position. Show in random position. The same thing for the chicken also. We have to show in the random position. Okay. Third thing with this, whenever snake touches this, we have to hide it again. When snake touches, hide it. Same thing for the chicken as well. When snake touch, hide it. Okay. So these are the major things we have to do it with the three sprites. Also two more things. One is okay, that I covered here. The length will increase when the snake eats something. And every time snake touches the frog or chicken, the score has to increase. Hide. Also, when snake touches, score has to increase. Here also the same thing we have to do it. When touches, score has to increase. Okay, right. So these are the three main sprites, and these are the major things we have to program it. Okay, now we will go to the Scratch screen and see how we can program this one. Okay, here you go. First sprite. Okay, first sprite, I'll take the snake, and when I take the snake, I'm having all these coding. We'll see one by one, right? Don't worry about the snake length now, that I'll explain you later. So first thing, I had to make sure when they click the start button, I had to make sure the snake starts from the 0, 0 position, where the center of the screen. Okay, that's the first step I do. Then I say point the direction to 90. Always it should see right hand side. Okay, so like see, it always sees in the the face is facing to the right hand side. So the point in direction is 90. So 90 means it will see here. You can see like, see, if 90 means it goes there. Okay, right. Then I am saying it, until it has to do something, it has to move until it touches the edges. So the code inside the repeat until will continuously happen till the snake touches the edges. Once it touches the edges, this script will stop running. Okay, so this is not necessary. Now we will see. So what I say is inside the repeat until, move 3 steps. Continuously it has to move 3 steps. Unless otherwise, in the same right hand side direction, it will move continuously. Unless otherwise, you press any of these keys, 4 keys. One is the up arrow, left arrow, down arrow, and right arrow. So if someone press the up arrow key, we have to change the pointing direction to 0. So 0 means this place. It should, wait, so change, but it should come to this 0 point. Okay. Then if I press the left arrow key, that means opposite side, it should go point to -90. This point. Okay. It's not moving. Okay, I'll check it. Then if I press right arrow key, it should again come back to 90, the initial position. So these are the 4 arrow keys we are going to control it. So it's continuously it's going to move 3 step by 3 step. Oopsie. It's continuously going to move 3 step by 3 step. Sorry. So 3 step by 3 step. But if the user presses the up arrow, it started to face up and move upwards. When the user press the left side, face to left and move to the left side. Down, down movement, right, right movement. Okay. So those are the things I have programmed here. Don't worry about this one now. I will come to this later. Okay. So how did I get this snake, this sprite? If you go to the costume, I just drew a small circle and two eyes. But you might ask why I didn't draw the tail, because you know snake means there should be a tail too, right? I will tell you the reason why I didn't draw the tail here. But instead of drawing a tail, I am making the tail in a programmatical way. So that's why I have written this code, these two codes, okay? Right. We will come to that later, okay? Now we will go to the frog. So when I go to the frog, what I am saying is, when click on start, hide the frog. I don't want to see the frog initially. So once snake started to move only, it should show in a random positions. Anywhere in the screen it can show. Then it will stay, it shouldn't hide till it touches the snake or touches the edges. If sometimes random position can come here in the edge, okay? If it come to the edge, it's difficult for the user to bring the snake to the edge, because if you bring the snake to the edge, the game will be over, right? So I don't want to give the food in the edge of the screen. So if the food touches the edge or touches the snake, it will be hidden. Okay? But I have included some more. I will come to that later. Okay? Don't worry about this set and these things. Now you have to know only you should go to the random position until it go to the random position and wait till it touches the snake or touches the edges. Okay. The same code given to the chicken too. Right. Now we will come. According to that, what will happen? There will be food going to come. Snake is going to move. Snake can eat the food. Up to that, we did it. But we didn't still do how the snake is going to grow and how we are going to score it. So for those, we had to have two variables. In our last tutorial, we learned how to create variables, right? So if you go to the variable, you can make your own variable. So I made two variables. One is length, other one is score. So let's see now if the snake eats some food. What I do is change the length by 0.2. I don't want to grow very fast. Then it's quickly touches the edges, right? If the snake grow and grow, then it's a problem. So change the length by 0.2 only, okay? And change the score by 1. Every time snake touches the chicken, the length will increase by 0.2 and the score will increase by 1. The same thing for frog. If the snake touches the frog, the length will go up by 0.2 and the score will go up by 1. Okay. So initially I am saying the score is 0 because every time we click on the start button, the score should reset to 0, right? Otherwise, if someone else played and go, then your score will go from there. That's not right, right? So we are resetting the score to 0 by using this block whenever I click the start button. Okay, now we will go back to the snake and see. Here I am resetting the length always to 0.5. So initially the snake will be little bit longer like 0.5. Then, so initially whenever I click the start button, it will come to 0.5. Then it's going to increase the length. Give me a second. Oh, I gave the length here, right? It's increasing the length by 0.2 every time. But there is one extra coding here. Why? Because initially I have only the face of the snake. I don't have the tail. So to make the tail, what I am doing is I am cloning this guy again and again continuously forever. But if I continuously forever, if I clone, the snake is going to be very long, right? It's going to grow, grow, grow. Always it's going to continuously grow. But I don't want that. So what I am saying is when it comes to the length, whatever length the new length, so every time length changes, right? So if you go here, initially length will be 0.5, then every time it's going to increase by 0.2. So next time it will be 0.7. So here wait until point 7, it comes to the point 7, then delete the clone. So what will happen is it will stop with that particular length. It doesn't grow further, right? So that's how this code is to create the tail. Instead of drawing a tail, I am creating like by cloning, because I don't want, if I draw a tail here, what will happen is how you can grow the snake, because every time it eats something, it has to grow, right? So if I have to do a programming to grow the snake, I have to write it like this. I have to clone the part of the snake, and it should be added every time it eats something. Okay, so for that only I have written this part. Now we have written the frog, we have written the chicken, and we have the main code for the snake. Okay, so now once we will do it again. See, every time I press the arrow, it's go according to the arrow, it will go. So every time you eat, the score also will increase and the length also will increase. Okay, so this is the game. Now when it touches the edge, it will stop, because once it touches, the game is over. Okay. Now, what else we can do with this one? One thing here, you see, I am moving 3 step by 3 step. So if you want to make this snake move very fast, change this to 5 or even 10 is very fast. Okay, so when the levels of the game goes up and up, the speed will go fast. So it's difficult for the user to control quickly, because if he doesn't control quickly, it will touch the edge and game will be over. So here, see, I'll change this to from 3 to 5. See the speed, okay? Now if I start, see, it's speeder than earlier, right? So you had to be very quickly controlling. Okay, so now it touches. If you wanted to more speed, make this to 10. Okay, so if you go to the level 3, so I couldn't even control it. Before that, it went and touched the edge, right? So the game is over. So make it more and more faster. Then, so the speed I am controlling through how many steps it's moved every time. Okay, so if 10 step means if quickly it goes to the edge. Okay, so the decent speed is 3. So it's easy to control. So it's a level 1, right? So when you are going to level 2, you can increase the speed to 5, then 8, 10, like that. You can have different levels. So here, two things are missing. One, if you see, if the snake touches its tail when it grows, now it's difficult to touch the tail. When it grows, even though, see, I give the, see, even though if I give backward and it touches the tail, the game doesn't get over. The actual traditional game, when the snake touches its tail, it should end up the game. So it's your part. Now I give some idea and I show the code of basic things. So how we can move the snake, how the snake can eat the food, and how it can grow, and how it can score the points. Now you guys have to develop by yourself. If the snake touches the tail, the game should over. One thing. Other one, you have to increase the level. You can have different levels and increase the level. So increase the speed of the snake. So the when they go to the more levels, the difficulty will be high. So for the level, what you have to do, you have to create another new variable called level. Here you can make another variable called level and you can show it here. And you have to initiate the level to 1. And then every time the scores go to 20, you can give any score like whatever you like. If it reaches 20 or 30, then you have to increase the level. So when it goes to level 2, the speed of the snake should be changed. So just think, this is my idea, but you can think in a different way and you can do it as well. There are so many ways, right? So you can do it in a different way. So you can have different levels. Other one, if the snake touches the tail, it should die or the game should over. So for that one, what you can do is, here I am saying how I am ending this game. I say repeat until touching the edge. So whenever the snake touches the edges, I am stopping this game. So here what you can do is you can take the go to the operator. Operator we didn't study still, but just see like O operator, right? Here you give not only touching the edge or touch its tail. So how you can give a touch it tails? So you have to create another sprite called tail, and you have to give that. So either touch the tail or touch the edge. It should end the game. Okay, so this is, I'm giving some high level idea. So it's your homework. You have to try doing those two things, changing the levels and the touching the tail. So touching the tail, it will be tricky. Not only you can simply give the tail and touch it, because the tail should go with the snake, right? If you create a fourth sprite, the sprite should cooperate with the first sprite, because it can't be alone somewhere, right? It should go with the snake and it should grow too. So that think by yourself and do it. Okay. So that's pretty much everything for today. So hope you guys understand this one. So basically you have to move the sprite. There should be a user have to have a control to move the sprite up, down, left, right, because it shouldn't touch the edges. So somehow user should manage to keep the snake within the screen, not to touch the edges. So while they are going here and there, they will get a food, and every time they eat the food, the score will go up and the snake will grow. So for that, we are programming that part with a sprite frog and sprite chicken. So when we go to the sprite frog, we are saying every time it touches if touching the snake, we are asking to increase the length by 0.2 and change the score by 1. Okay. Otherwise, it will show, initially it will hide, and after that, it will show in the random position. Okay. And it will show till the snake touches the food. So that's all this game is. Okay. So hope you guys understood. If any question, please give in the comment. So under my YouTube, there will be a comments you can give. So please ask your questions or give your ideas. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please like and subscribe it. See you. Bye bye till we meet in the other tutorial.